So if you're not pre-approved yet and you're buying a home in 2026, you're already losing. So here is your 2026 January housing market and mortgage update. Rates this month dropped to the lowest point in over 3.5 years, and mortgage applications for purchases jumped 18% year over year. Buyers who've been sitting on the sidelines all decided to come back all at once as if it was their New Year resolution. And a lot of them have already been fully approved and ready to write offers the moment listings hit the market here. My name is Eric Hamilton. I'm a top 1% lender in the United States. This is your January 2026 housing market update. I'm going to show you exactly why preparation right now is the biggest thing to think about going into February, and how many of our buyers are winning while others are waiting on the sidelines. So what actually happened in January? So first and foremost, mortgage rates dropped to the lowest level that we've seen in over 3.5 years. So lowest since around 2022. So mortgage applications surged in the last 3 weeks when mortgage rates moved lower. This was expected. We saw a lot of people taking advantage of refinances. We saw a lot of purchase activity. And the interesting thing on this is that we've also seen inventory in the suburbs and areas that have been really struggling with inventory. It's up about 10% year over year. Now, what we've seen is a lot of our buyers who have to sell a home are trying to catch that market before the Super Bowl and getting their home on the market. And what I've been telling a lot of people right now is that if it's this busy, when we've had snow on the ground, record low temperatures, sometimes below zero temperatures, and we're seeing this much activity, imagine what it's going to look like that first sunny 50-degree day in the Midwest. We've seen a lot of activity. Chicago suburbs have seen as much as a 5% sales growth and price growth already in 2026. That's due to multiple offers that we're already seeing. And while we're still seeing maybe 2, 3 offers, sometimes more on a property, imagine what that's going to look like in the springtime. Here's what most people don't understand and what they're missing. Everyone thinks that just because rates have come down, it's a little bit easier to buy, but lower rates are bringing out a lot more buyers back into the market. And, this market is going to present opportunities for those who are prepared, who have done the work up front, that when a home is listed, they're going to be able to act quickly. There's also a lot of buyers who are sitting on the sidelines waiting for rates to move a little bit lower, waiting for a property to come on the market before they reach out to the lender. They think reaching out and having conversations just involves too much work. But the problem is when rates move lower or inventory starts to hit the market and weather gets a little bit nicer, we're going to have a lot more buyers, and it's going to put a tight market into more of an inventory issue, and we're going to have a lot more bidding wars. Okay. January, we've already seen it. Rates dipped. We had applications, surge, and we've seen a lot of multiple offers already. So why you can't wait until you see the home that you love. In January, by the time a great home comes on the market, there's already going to be 3 to 5 offers, and that's already going to increase as we get into the busy time in the market. The other thing to think about is psychologically, this year is very different than previous years. Last year we had a lot of people, it was right after the election. A lot of people were unsure of housing policies, what was going to happen, how people were going to react. They didn't know what was going to happen in the economy. Well, last year saw the stock market create new highs. Obviously, a lot of news and noise in the market, but home prices still went higher. In Illinois alone, 5 to 7%. So home prices went up. Nationally, we haven't seen this big decline in home prices. If anything, we're getting back to a more normal market. We've seen a lot of things that we wouldn't see in previous markets return, where we've seen slower times during the holidays, not the craziness that we've seen before. If you wait to start your mortgage process the day you see the listing, you're already behind, and you're going to have a hard time in the current market. The biggest development that I've seen that's helped a lot of people is we've seen a lot of inventory hit the market in January. So inventory in the Chicago suburbs alone was up 10% year over year. We've seen a lot more listings in DuPage and Kane, not anywhere near what we need, but compared to the last 2 years, it's been slightly better. We saw some homes sitting on the market a little bit longer in November and December, those were great opportunities for buyers. Those are slowly going away because a lot of those homes have gone under contract and buyers are moving forward. But this window closes fast if rates drop more and demand explodes again. So, how are we helping buyers win in January 2026? Okay. The biggest thing is all the work we do up front. We used to do 20% of the work up front that we go under contract and we do 80% later. Now we're doing 80% up front, going through monthly payments, going through cash to close, doing buyer consultations, talking with the realtor, creating a team environment where we can put as much information in front of you. So when that perfect home comes on the market after the Super Bowl, you're going to be able to move forward and capture that immediately because you're going to know everything. Okay. And if rates were to continue to move lower, it's only going to bring more buyers to a market where inventory starts to hit between now and springtime. It's really, really important to know and understand what your options are. Do you need to sell first? Do you have the ability to buy without the sale? Can you do a bridge loan? All these things are much easier to have conversations about well before you place the offer. Once you place the offer, you're chasing that outcome. If you do the work up front, you're going to have a much better experience and you're going to know and understand what your options are and have a much better job of winning. Those are the people that are winning right now. We really break it down into 3 steps right now, and we've been doing this a lot in January, is we're doing a lot of discovery calls where we talk to a borrower. We're going through all the things that they need to do up front. We're going through their monthly payment, cash to close, interest rates, all those things. We're running monthly payments. We're going through what we need to do to win an offer. How aggressive do we need to do? How many listings there are in the market that they're looking for, working with their realtor, getting information to them before. So that's all the plan and prepare part. Now, once the home comes on the market, we've already done the heavy lifting. We've already done the work. We can provide a level of certainty to that seller that many other people cannot. Number one, I'm available 7 days a week, 7 in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. I'm going to be there helping your realtor prepare the offer, talk to the listing agent, make sure they understand what we have done up front, that we've already gone through income, we've already reviewed all their assets, and we can make an offer that's going to have zero risk to the seller. That is what you need to do to win in this current market. What happens if you keep waiting to take these steps? Okay. Right now, there are dozens and dozens of buyers sitting on the sidelines ready to go. If rates drop even just another quarter, you're going to see another surge of demand. So more buyers, same inventory means more bidding wars. The people who win this year and this spring are the ones who are going to prepare now and not in March. Okay. So what do you do now? You reach out to us, you schedule a discovery call. We use a soft credit pull. It costs nothing. There's no impact to credit. We do all the work. We review your income. We go through all your information. Then you take all that information, you take that back to your realtor, and now your realtor knows exactly what you can afford and what you want to pay monthly. And instead of seeing 20 homes, maybe you see 5 because we've done all that work up front. That's going to make for a much better outcome and a much better experience. Your outcome in this housing market is not going to be the same with everyone that you work with. It's really important to know and understand what you're trying to do and how to do it. And that's where we are. And in February, after the Super Bowl, you're going to have more buyers enter the market and you're going to have more inventory enter the market. So now is the time to prepare and be ready.